A student brought me this instrument in the middle of class. Both the Soundpost and bridge were out of place. I tried to reset the bridge just so we could get through the end of rehearsal, but it popped out twice, and that's when I decided to set it aside and take a closer look. Getting the Soundpost out can be difficult, but luckily it was pretty simple with this instrument. It was at this point that I realized I'd forgotten to grab my Soundpost setter, but I had a pencil on my desk and I was able to use that to easily fish out the Soundpost. Then I grabbed my Soundpost setter and got to work. Again, this is something that can be really challenging, but for this instrument, it was somewhere in the middle. I've had easier Soundpost sets, but I've definitely had some harder ones. I was really surprised when it set perfectly the first time, but as I got in there to snug it up, it fell over, so I had to try again. After a couple more failed attempts, I noticed a pretty big problem with my Soundposts. Soundposts are cut with slight angles so that they can fit inside the violin properly, and it looked to me like the angles on mine were backwards. In fact, I think that might be why it fell out so easily in the first place. So I just flipped it around and tried to put it in the opposite direction, and the minute I tried that, it fit so much better. Now apparently I was so concentrated here that I had to stick my tongue out to do this. Not sure what that was about, but the first time I tried to put it in that way, it set perfectly. With the Soundpost set, I was ready to move on to the next step. Even though the bridge had given me a hard time during class, I wanted to try to set it one more time before replacing it. You'll see in a moment that it was quite warped, which is probably why it wasn't staying set. And in this next clip, I had to keep the sound on so you could hear every string teacher's worst nightmare as they're tuning. Yup, we're definitely replacing that bridge. I looked through my bag of extra bridges and found one that was basically the same size. Then I added my instrument inventory number and went to set this new bridge. I was able to get this in place and tuned up very easily, and it looks so much better. And that was the end of this repair. I put the instrument back in the case and on a sticky note wrote the student's name along with a check mark to remind me that it is ready to go back to them at the next rehearsal. That's it for this video, but there will be plenty more instrument repair videos in the future, so make sure you hit subscribe to see how I'm fixing the string instruments in my classroom.